Hi, and welcome to another episode of Slow Cooking with Dale K. How's everybody doing? Today I'm going to make one of my favorite dishes, which could be served for either brunch, breakfast, lunch, even for dinner. I had this a lot when I was in Israel, and it's one of my favorite dishes called Shakshuka. Just picking some fresh parsley from the garden. So here are the ingredients. I normally make a double batch, so my ingredients might look more than the actual recipe, but I'm going to give you the basic recipe. So 5 tomatoes, or tomatoes as we call them. I put them in hot boiling water so that the skins come off easily. That's a good tip. So you peel the tomatoes and you dice it quite roughly. And then obviously some onions diced. I used 1 onion, and then my onion goggles helps you not cry when you're cutting the onions. Some spring onions, and then some red pepper, finely diced. I have some viewers that are allergic to peppers. You can leave them out. And then I have Hunt's tomato sauce, and it's just strained tomato sauce. You can find any brand. And then I have 3 cloves of garlic, which I will chop. And then we have paprika, 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon ground cumin, and I normally use a fresh red pepper or a red jalapeno, but I couldn't get them because of lockdown. They're quite rare to find, so I'm just using some dry red pepper. I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon. You can change how spicy you want it by adding more. And then just my salt and peppers. I use a combination of black pepper and white pepper and some sea salt. And this is just a special little thing that I found in Israel, a shakshuka blend, which I'm using. It's just an added extra. You don't actually need it, but if you do see it at the spice markets, it's a great extra zing it adds to the dish. And then obviously your eggs, and then just on top at the end, I'm going to use some fresh parsley from my garden that I'll chop, and some fresh coriander. And here we go with the skillet. I use quite a deep skillet, and in it is 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So the first step is to saute the onion. I've now added some spring onions, and now adding the garlic. I will saute that up. I'm now adding the peppers. And as you can see, that's sauteing nicely. If you're using a fresh pepper, a hot chili pepper or jalapeno, I would add it now as well. I've now added the chopped tomatoes, and I'm going to let it cook for 20 to 30 minutes, stirring occasionally. So it's been sauteing now on a slow simmer for about 30 minutes, and I'm now going to add all my dry spices. So I've added a generous sprinkling of fresh ground black pepper, some white pepper, which is my favorite, and some fresh sea salt just to taste. I'm now adding the cumin, followed by the paprika. And then if you have the shakshuka blend, you can add that. If you don't have it, you don't actually need it, as mentioned. Now I'm going to give it a gentle stir. I've stirred it, and now I'm adding the tomato puree. This is not tomato paste, it's like strained tomato sauce. And the recipe is for 8 ounces. I've obviously added double because I'm making a double batch. So I just added the chili, the dried chili. As I said, if you had fresh chili, you would have added it earlier. I'm stirring it up, and now I'm going to let it simmer for another 15 minutes. And it's already looking great, but you just want all those flavors to mingle together. I've now added some fresh coriander, chopped, and some fresh parsley. I add half of the parsley and half of the coriander into the pot to give it some flavor, but I reserve the other half that you're going to sprinkle on top when you serve. So here you go. It's now cooked for 15 minutes, and it's ready. So I'm going to take half of this and put it in a cast iron skillet and prepare a meal for today. And the other half I'm going to put in the freezer once it's cooled, and you can have it any other time. Just take it out, let it thaw, and it's ready to go. So I've transferred half the mixture to a cast iron skillet, and I'm going to take the spatula and I'm going to make some pockets so I can put the egg in. So I've pre-cracked the egg and I've put it in this little dish, which is much easier to transfer to the skillet. And as you can see in the skillet now, I've made pockets. I've made 6 pockets. You can make as many pockets as you feel you can fit in your pan, and then I'm going to transfer the egg to each pocket. So there you go, the eggs are transferred to the pocket. I've now put my oven on and I've put it on grill on the highest level. As soon as that's warm, this goes in the oven in the grill until your eggs are perfectly cooked, just the way you like them. Okay, I've had the eggs in for 5 minutes and out they come. There we go, looking amazing. I'm just adding a sprinkle of parsley and some coriander over the top. And there you go, isn't that beautiful? Ready to serve.